Welcome back. We've just read Zoe's journal, which mainly filled us in on how she's been settling in here in Propast, which is apparently in the area where Prague is today, in Europe. And it seems that she has been doing okay, having some trouble making new friends. We also found out that things with Reza are not exactly great. But then again, maybe that's not that surprising. Also, here is where that choice we made before really comes in, the one between the familiar path and the unknown path. Because all of the stuff in the journal about her working, going back to university and working with the LG, that is all stuff that only happens if you pick the familiar path. If you pick the unknown path, she is instead pursuing a career in software, and you work at a different place and get a few different puzzles. The reason I picked the familiar path is, one, the statistics you get about who picks what at the end of each book tell me that that is the lesser traveled path, so I figured it would be interesting to show. Also, it has at least one fun character in there that you do not get to see otherwise, and all the characters that are in the unknown path you do get to see in this path too. So it gives you a little bit of stuff that you wouldn't otherwise get. And we also just spoke to our therapist, Dr. Roman.
Dr. Zelenka. Roman. Dr. Roman? Doc? I don't even know what to call him anymore.
Well, the UI has decided on Dr. Roman for you. We can talk to him some more, actually. You might be wondering what we're doing here, standing here for 20 minutes reading our journal.
Doctor... Roman?
Yes.
My next appointment with Dr. Roman is in my calendar, but I might as well double-check while I'm here.
I guess that sounds like a good idea.
When's our next session again?
Next Monday. At, let me check. Next Monday at 9. Is that still okay?
That's fine, thank you. Maybe I shouldn't be bothering him. He probably has another appointment right away.
He doesn't look that busy, but... possibly. Maybe he's just being polite and not telling us to get the hell out.
Do you have an appointment now?
No, I prefer some space between sessions. I don't like to rush. I prefer to sit and take notes afterwards.
So, what are you writing?
Well, just notes about what we talked about today. It's a way for me to remember and process our conversation.
Makes sense.
To be absolutely honest, I don't have another appointment for several hours. I like keeping my Mondays light.
Oh. Yeah, we could start later if you'd prefer.
No, this gets me out of bed in the morning. Without it, I just sleep in.
Looks like we can ask him some more questions.
I don't know Dr. Zelenka, Roman, very well at all. I don't even know where he's from originally. How long have you practiced in Europolis?
Oh, 4 years? No, 5. I graduated from Krakow in 2214 and worked 2 years in the Warsaw district before moving to Berlin.
And Propast?
I set up this practice 7 months ago.
Are you from the Prague district?
I'm originally from Poznan. My parents are of Polish descent. Not that that matters anymore. European is European. Yeah, you wouldn't know it talking to my father, though. He is a traditional nationalist. I think he secretly wishes for the downfall of Europolis and a return to the independent nation-states. Was there anything else?
Well, you know, I'm all for a unified Europe, but considering what we see in this game, I don't think I can blame anyone for wanting to go back to how things were.
Roman seems like an interesting person, and we've never really talked about anything other than me. This could be a good time to start talking. I don't know what I'm doing. Should I be doing this? I don't know.
Well, you won't know until you try. Although if it turns out you shouldn't be doing this, it might be really awkward.
So, what do you get up to when you're not, this?
Oh, I, I don't know.
I'm sorry if this is getting too personal.
No. I was just trying to think about how to answer that. I don't really do things. When I'm not working, I think about work. Or I write about work, or I read about work.
Oh. And how does, your wife feel about that?
I'm not married. I live by myself. Which has advantages and disadvantages. Mostly, in my case, disadvantages. I'm not good at taking care of myself.
Really?
Okay.
So, Roman is single and spends too much time by himself. He could really do with a social life. I think I might have outstayed my welcome. So, Roman is single and spends too much time by himself. He could really do with a social life.
Let's see where that goes.
You should get out more. Think about something other than work.
What did you have in mind?
I'm not the best person to ask. I'm, a homebody.
Sounds like we both should get out more.
We should. I mean, you should, and so should I. Also.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I did think this might get awkward. And it got awkward fast. Also sounded like a case of the blind leading the blind to me.
I'm not quite sure where this conversation is going. It's very confusing. I should probably just cut it short, but I'm also curious. Cat, meet curiosity. Hello, curiosity. Ah.
Don't mention cats. Mine is finally not bothering me.
I feel horrible about the direction this conversation's been taking. I'm not sure what I was thinking. Flirting with my therapist.
Yeah, I think that, things may not be going stellar with Reza, but flirting with the therapist may be a little bit out of bounds. Plus, there's probably some rules about it.
Yeah, you should come out with Reza and me sometime.
With the... Oh, yes, of course, sometime. After we've concluded your therapy, of course. I don't mix my professional and private lives.
That's not a good mix. That's like gummy bears and potassium chlorate. Keep them apart.
Right. Well, I should finish writing these notes before I forget everything we talked about.
Of course. Good idea. That's... yeah. Okay.
Well, let's pretend that conversation never happened, shall we? Trust me, if you do flirt with him, it isn't any less awkward. He's got a nice view if you're in the rain. He does have a huge office, I have to say. Is that normal for therapists? I don't think so. Maybe it is normal for therapists in the 23rd century. Can look around a little bit here.
Exactly what you'd expect a psychologist to keep on his office shelf. No tawdry romance novels, fantasy or science fiction, unfortunately.
Too bad. Oh, a moving Rorschach test. What does it look like? Doesn't look like anything to me.
I see... No, I really shouldn't. It's a trap. A psychological trap.
Probably for the best.
Is that a dragon? Well, it looks like a dragon. What does that mean? What does that say about me? That I'm, into dragons? Dragons are cool.
I guess so. It looked like a castle for a second there to me, anyway.
I could stare at that for hours and then I really would go insane.
Quite probably.
I see.
Yeah.
Books on shrink stuff. Shrinky books.
Indeed. Can we read his notes? Maybe not the best of ideas, but... Let's see. Paranoia. You don't really actually seem to be writing right there. You're just moving your hand over a page that says paranoia. Also, I'm not paranoid. They happen to be actually really after me. You know? I think for Zoe it's more a case of the question of, I'm paranoid, but am I paranoid enough? Machine. I'm going to guess this either makes water or coffee, or dispenses water. I guess it doesn't make water. Although it could. I don't know where I'm going with this.
A handy dispenser of pharmaceutical concoctions.
Or it could do that. That seems weird. Are you a psychologist or a psychiatrist? I know one of them dispenses medication, the other doesn't.
Also known as synthetic coffee.
Oh. Oh, it is just coffee. You tricked me, Zoe.
As far as synthetic coffee goes, it's not the worst, but it's still horrible. A handy dispenser of pharmaceutical concoctions.
And more Rorschach tests. Don't mind us, Duck. We're just looking over your entire office. I hope you don't mind.
No therapist's office would be complete without a chaise longue. Never used it. Would feel like a dork. I could take a nap and wake up with the doctor leaning over me and... No, stop it. Stupid authority figure sexual fantasy. Time to leave.
Okay, that is way more than I ever needed to know about Zoe.
I could take a nap and wake up. If that's real wood, it must have cost a fortune. It looks real. Not the sort of thing you'd expect to find in a therapist's office.
This therapist seems to be making a lot of money.
Knock on wood. I don't often get to do that with real wood. IKEA's plastique just doesn't cut it, knock-wise.
Were they sponsored by IKEA? This is like the second reference.
How can Zelenka afford a piece of furniture like that? Must have been a gift.
Perhaps. Then again, he also affords this giant office with qubit carpet.
If that's real wood, it must have cost a fortune. It looks real. I didn't know the doc was into cephalopods. I wonder if he has a pet one at home.
It's a jellyfish. Cute, I guess?
I always wanted a pet cephalopod. They're the best.
That is a weird thing to want. Some abstract art. Any Easter eggs in the plaques? No, can't read them. His briefcase, more books, more paintings. And a computer terminal. I'm sure that's completely innocuous.
That's my file. I feel an almost irresistible urge to peek.
Must peek.
Nope, nothing at all. A bunch of personal information I had to fill in for my first appointment. And now I feel really guilty for peeking. Boo. I don't know what I was hoping for. A she's real cute note in the margins?
That sure looked like placeholder text to me. I couldn't read most of it, but if you pause the video, I'm sure you can.
But I shan't. It's never a good idea to read what your therapist writes about you.
But I already have, so what are you talking about?
Oh, hell, just a glance can't hurt, right?
Right. Oh, well, we already did. I think it's time we get out of this office and, do something productive with our lives. And it's loading. It's a big area it's loading, so... Well, I've never been to Prague, or the Czech Republic, or Eastern Europe at all, for that matter, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't look like this today. And that's probably a good
What do you
thing.
mean I need a permit? I have a permit. I paid a fucking fortune for this permit.
But your permit is no longer valid. You'll need to have it renewed. You have 24 hours to comply.
Fuck off. You have 24 hours to comply.
Well, that makes absolutely no sense. If you do not comply, you'll be detained and your food cart confiscated.
If you so much as touch Carl, I will cut off your testicles and make a kebab.
Threats are counterproductive and punishable by law. You have
How
20...
does it feel working for a fascist fucking regime, trampling all over the working people?
I'm okay with it. Yeah, great health coverage, no overtime, pays decent. 24 hours.
Well, at least he's honest.
Hey,
Hey, where are you?
just leaving therapy on my way to the lab. What's up?
Neck deep. Would I be a bad boyfriend if I asked you to stop by that place with the, crazy person and the good food?
Nella bites? Sure. And lazy, not bad.
What?
Not bad boyfriend, lazy boyfriend. What do you want?
Your pick. Nothing...
Exotic. Affirmative. I'll stop by Nella's right now. I should be at your office in 15?
Thanks. You're the best.
I am. See you soon.
Okay, I guess we got our first assignment here in Europolis, which is bring our boyfriend food. Exciting! Also, this game has a couple of big open areas. This is one of them. And, I mean, it's not quite GTA or anything in terms of open world, but we do have some area to explore, which is fun and interesting. And we have a goals screen, which I think is good, because A, it reminds me what to do, and B, it means that the journal does not get used as a glorified goals screen like it did in Dreamfall. Because even though the journal doesn't get used that much, it's still, like, in Dreamfall you got a lot of journal entries, but they were mostly just like, oh, this is the next thing I need to do. So now we have this instead, and we have to get lunch from Reza at Nella Bites, a food cart outside Shashadri Tower. Shashadri? Now there's a name I've heard before.
The Seshadri Tower is prime real estate in Propast. The rent's probably as sky high as the cloud scraper.
That is quite a tall building. Shadri, isn't that Shadri building where Jiva was, Helena Chang's lab?
The tallest office building in Propast, home to Dr. Roman Zelenka's psychotherapy praxis and 1,000 other businesses.
Well, I sure as hell hope that's a coincidence.
The tallest office building in Propast, home to Dr. Roman Zelenka's psychotherapy praxis and 1,000 other businesses.
Alright, well this seems to be Nella.
Nella, street chef, Marxist, spark plug, and friend of mine. I do love her, in smaller doses.
And she has a food cart, which she apparently named Carl.
Nella has a nickname for her mobile kitchen, and that nickname is Carl, because Marxist.
I guess that makes sense.
Nella Bites is one of the best food carts in all of Propast. Whatever she's cooking is super tasty, and incredibly unhealthy, but
Who cares about that? Can we look at the menu? That's not the key. I'm gonna say the answer is no. We can talk to her, though.
Did you see that?
I shouldn't get involved. I have enough on my plate and I'm running late, and I'm already neck deep in the Uminska campaign. I don't need more political drama. I don't really need any political drama. I can't believe the Eye is harassing Nella. She sells food. It's not like she's doing anything illegal. Is she? I mean, I know she's politically involved, but there's no law against being Marxist.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, considering the state of this place, I wouldn't have been surprised if there was a law against being Marxist. And actually, I do want to find out more.
What was all that about?
Fucking I. Making up shit so that they can harass anyone who doesn't toe the line. Now I'm going to waste the whole afternoon standing in line at the district office for a permit I don't fucking need. Never mind that this is just a tip of the garbage heap. They're restricting transit between sectors, adding more security to all the metro stations and ports, requiring paperwork for anything beyond local lines. I mean, what the fuck? I knew Parliament was tight with the Syndicate, but this is Chungo, man. They're planning something. Probably going to hunt down and arrest revolutionaries next. That's me fucked then.
I'm sure you're
Word
not...
is they rounded up all the European Liberty folks in the Berlin district last week, detained them on suspicion of terrorism. Terrorism! For speaking their minds! And okay, for releasing clouds of biograffiti. I know that clique, they're harmless. It was just a call to action. That's fucking terrorism now.
Scary.
Scary. That's exactly what it is. And your candidate isn't going to change anything for the better.
Maybe not. But Uminska won't change anything for the worse either. Unlike Konstantin Wolf.
Kaiser Konstantin. Puta! If that Schwein gets elected, I'm moving to Paris.
They'd never let you in.
One of the conglomerate city-states of North America, then. Newport, the fucking Republic of Los Angeles, hell, even Bostonia. Anywhere but Kaiser's Europe.
That's why Leia Uminska is the best choice. No one's going to put the Marxists in office, Nela. At least my candidate has a fighting chance. And she is a socialist.
She's a moderate, Zoe. A moderate! What's the point in that? Moderation is just another word for compromise. Anyway, what are you having?
Having?
Lunch, Zozo. For your chorbo. Listen, I have a new supplier for pork wurst, the collective down on Caprova. Organic meat, the real deal, none of that vat-grown slop. Don't know how they do it. Connections on high, plenty of mouses swapping hands, but they're legal, I think.
Well, there's an important decision.
The pork sausages sound totally delicious. I'm not sure Reza will agree, but he needs to be more adventurous when it comes to his diet. The pork sausages sound delicious, but Reza plays it safe when it comes to food. Europolitan through and through. No tolerance for organic meats. I'm working on it, but baby steps.
Well, from the journal it sounded like things with Reza are bad enough without trying to force him to change his diet, so let's take the safe option.
I'm gonna have to go with the cheese soup. Again.
Dobra, coming up. You should join the protest this afternoon. We're marching on the sector office.
Can't, sorry. Ada would give me time off, but the project's at a really critical stage right now.
Smart girl. We'll probably get beaten by the bulla and tossed in the zona. Just another fucking Monday in Propast. Here you go.
Thanks, Nella.
If you reconsider, we'll head out around noon. Time to let those cunts know we're watching the Watchmen.
Sounds like fun in Propast. About as much fun as the elections in the US at the moment, I guess. And we got a new journal entry. Dear Diary, let's move forward and focus on the present, I think was the last line we read. Note to self. Stop saying no to yourself. Even when I sub-vocalize, it sounds completely ridiculous. Also, I'm reminding myself to ask more questions about that eye thing. It's a bit scary that they're going after people like Nella. She runs a food cart, for God's sake. What's next? A curfew? More arrests? I don't want to be living in a police state. Feels like it's too late for that. Let's see what else we can look at around here. We have a new goal. Drop Reza's lunch off the hand that feeds down by the riverside. Okay, no idea where that is.
Building the new Europe? Because that went well.
I guess so. Are we looking at like a billboard that's all the way behind there? I think we are. It's a giant Wadi logo over there. Because they're still as big as ever. And more food cards. Are we in China or in Europe?
The best food in Propast comes from the street vendors and their food carts. Hands down, no contest. Propast has the best selection of street food in Europolis. There's no reason to cook. Ever. Oh, except when Reza cooks. I'm fine with him cooking.
I'm guessing you're not the best cook in the world then. Garbage bin.
I'm a bit creeped out by the talking bins. Why do they talk? What shadowy masters do they serve?
Important questions that we'll probably never get the answers to.
Talking, walking, incinerating garbage bins. Granted, I haven't seen them walking, but I'm sure they do. Late at night, when no one's looking.
That sounds like the kind of thing they would do.
Stop by any time for Propast's best grilled cheese sandwiches. Today's special is Abbott's Gold with dry cured Italian sausage and mango chutney on choco bun.
I think I'll pass. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to look at and listen to and interact with here. I'm gonna have to strike a balance between, you know, interacting with everything and actually keeping the plot moving.
Those interactive tourist maps helped a lot when I first moved here. They're still helpful. I still get lost.
Crowboy? That sounds familiar. Isn't that the cartoon character that April named Crow after? That's interesting, and I guess he's serving as a tourist map, because, you know, it's not like you could just do that on your phone. That would be too easy, even though her phone is apparently implanted in her eye.
Crowboy here. I'm one rootin' tootin' six-barrel shootin' crow cowboy.
Now we can ask him for directions, and it seems we need to go to the hand that feeds at the
Rose's
moment.
office is down by Prista Vista, the old river docks, right behind the collapse memorial. Show me Prista Vista, please. The Pamatnik collapse.
Planning on a trip down the river? You got it, cowgirl. Propast docks coming right up. I hope you get to where you're going. And if you ever get lost again, you know Crowboy's got your back.
Alright, so the star shows us where to go. There's also an arrow showing us the rough direction to go in. It's usually not that hard to find where you need to go once you learn a few key landmarks in this place. That looks like an advertisement for the Dreamer.
I'm a dreamer. I'm not. That's the last thing I want to be.
Okay.
I hate adbots. They're like mosquitoes, constantly buzzing, blood-sucking parasites.
That sounds like a thing that could actually happen. Bingo! They're still around.
Before the soda wars, there were a lot more soft drink flavours. I wouldn't know. I grew up with bingo. I'm a Bing girl. Bing girl? Whatever.
Nobody knows. Probably nobody cares.
I had the best dream time yesterday.
What did you do?
Well, I started with my own creation, and then I mixed in one of Chevalier's dreams. The one with the balls?
El Toro Gigante, 5 stars in the Dream Store.
That's the one. Totally surreal.
I just bought the latest Baku bundle. That's next weekend sorted. I'm not leaving the flat.
I'm not a big Baku fan. I'm saving up for the latest Nidra dream. It's supposed to be epic.
Nidra's good. Penelope's better. She's coming out with a new dream next month. The previews are amazing. I won't be leaving my bedroom for a week.
Good times, I'd say. Good times.
Okay.
What if this is the dream, and when we connect to the dreamer, we wake up?
That's really deep, Colo.
Could be, I guess. We'll never know. Yeah, you know, people are having a problem when, you know, not leaving your apartment for a week is what they're describing as a good time. Giant spinning Warty logo. Can we look at that? I guess not. Are you two enjoying the view here of this bridge? The river, I guess. A vending machine. We've had mixed experiences with those.
Freeze-dried jellyfish chips. Vacuum-packed boiled beef. carbonated tequila shots, blood pudding fudge, fried cabbage jerky, oh, salted pigeon bits. Bits? Which bits?
I don't think I need to know anything more about that.
A cornucopia of tasty snacks. Tasty. Yeah, tasty. Man, Europe.
Yep, more garbage bins. When this game first came out, Europolis was mainly an area full of graphical glitches and also graphical performance problems. There was a lot of like big square light areas. I don't know how to describe it. It looked really weird. It got fixed. One of the reasons why I waited a little bit before doing Let's Plays. So we can get patches. This game actually got a pretty big graphical update when they upgraded to Unity 5 before Book 4 was released, I think. Cool Cow. Isn't that the place where that one police officer, I forget his name, was eating? I think it was. No comment about Cool Cow. We actually need to go this way. What the hell? Mystery Tower.
I've asked everyone what those towers are, and no one knows for sure. Some say anti-grav units from before the collapse, others say they're vents.
Well, the smoke certainly seems to support the vent theory.
Nella claims those towers release chemicals that keep the populace subdued and compliant, but her argument is self-defeating. She breathes the same air, and she is not compliant.
That seems like a fair enough way to look at it. Also, they tried that in Firefly. It didn't work out. Don't want to end up creating Reapers.
Eyes everywhere. I've never seen so many of them out on the streets.
Dieter Gross, dependable. If that says so, then I guess it must be true. Wait, that's probably not how that works.
Those ad bots are all over the place. Sometimes I think they target me specifically just to fuck with me.
Everybody probably thinks that.
Dream all night. I dream about tomorrow and how it will be. I ought to know.
I think this is some local Norwegian artist that they put in the game. Not really my style of music, I have to say.
Pardon me. Hey.
I guess they didn't like me walking into them.
They've lost jobs, homes, all because they're addicted to Dreamtime. It's really scary.
And they are still doing nothing but Dreamtime, it seems.
The only way to help dream junkies is to forcibly disconnect them and put them in rehab. But who's going to pay for that? Not Waticorp.
I mean, I dream.
I guess not.
Keep it real.
Well, we actually happen to know the hand that feeds is over there, but we'll see if we can meet Reza there next time in the next video.
Just get